Stay locked in to stay informed. Gaffney in the Morning on 92.7 WGMD.
And Republican candidate for U.S. Senate, primarying Mike Castle, Christine O'Donnell. Good morning, Christine. How are you?
Good morning, Dan. Thank you for having me this morning.
Good to have you here. Good to have you here. I got a lot of questions that I haven't had a chance to ask you this season. When you were speaking at an out-of-state group recently and you told them that you won 2 out of 3 counties in Delaware, what did you mean?
I don't think I ever said I won 2 out of 3 counties, but I
Well, let's listen to the audio. Hold on one second, because I have the audio right here.
I was the 2008 endorsed candidate against Joe Biden, and I won in 2 counties. We didn't have the support of our liberal Republicans then.
You said you won in 2 counties.
All right, you know what that probably was? You're on the campaign trail a lot. I meant tied.
Well, you didn't.
They've got a tracker following you, waiting for you to trip up.
Yeah, but you didn't. Christine, I'm just saying why you didn't tie him either.
Oh, absolutely I did. You look at the results. We tied in Sussex County, and that had everything to do with your voters, your listeners, Dan.
No,
hold on. It was so exciting to see the results that against the vice presidential candidate.
Christine, this is the easiest of the questions I have.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh, well, Dan, bring it on. And
well, I'm bringing it on, but I'm just saying, Christine.
I would love to come back.
Christine.
Because you endorsed me in 2006.
That's correct.
I was a write-in candidate, and that was
correct.
that was so exciting, Dan. You were part of what started all this.
I understand. So, I'm simply asking you a question. Hello, Christine, are you going to filibuster over top of my clarification question or not? I'm just simply saying you did not tie Joe Biden in Sussex County.
Look at the results.
I did. He beat you. It was close.
And what did they say? 49-49? I call that a tie.
No, Christine, he won in votes. You know that.
No. What does the election results say that I got?
They say that you got less votes than he did.
What were the numbers?
Well, I'll bring them up here in a minute if you really want me to, but you did
49% to 49%, Dan. It's right there in black and white. I would call that a tie.
What about Kent County?
They have the audio. I apologize. You're on the campaign trail starting at 5 a.m. You go to 12. I will... you go to midnight. Sometimes you slip up on those things.
What about the second county?
What about the districts in Sussex County? Absolutely.
Okay, so you're saying in percentage you tied. What about we don't pick a winner based on percentage, but what about the second county?
We trailed by about 10,000 votes. I said I nearly tied.
Okay, well
I was the 2008 endorsed candidate against Joe Biden, and I won in 2 counties. We didn't have the
Joe Biden spent $5 million. We barely had $100,000, and it was because of people like your listeners going out there and spreading the word. And
I'm just wondering if that. What I'm wondering,
Mike Castle right now too.
What I'm wondering, Christine, is when you were speaking to this out-of-state group, did you purposefully mislead them, or were you just?
Absolutely not. Oh my gosh, Dan, you know me better.
Well, what was the
explanation? Never purposely mislead them.
I'm just asking you what was the
issue, Dan, move on. We only have a couple minutes. What are your other questions? And why were they following me out of state? What out of state group was it? I have no idea what you're talking about.
This was in Pennsylvania. It was their own video. No one was following you around. It's their video that posted it on the web, and I was just asking you about that rather curious statement. I have another question, number 2.
Yeah.
Let's talk about campaign debt. You're collecting money for the 210 campaign, this current campaign you're in. The campaign finance report, the way I read it, says that you still have unpaid balances from your 2008 campaign.
Dan, we are paying off our debt. We're raising money specifically for paying off 2008 campaign debt. Anyone who'd like to make a contribution to help with that is
Well, you're collecting money, though.
2010.com.
Well, you're collecting money in 2010. You're collecting money.
Raising money for radio ads on your station during your show.
Right, and you still haven't paid.
Basically raising money.
Christine, that's why I'm asking you.
From 2008.
Why is she so not wanting to answer the question?
Was a grassroots effort that was,
I'm just asking you.
Past to hat fundraising, and
from
when
a
you're
fiscal.
going against the establishment, even with the endorsement.
Christine.
I was the endorsed candidate.
Christine.
I won that endorsement square and fair, and the state party never raised any money for me.
Christine,
so it's going to take a little bit longer, but we are doing the responsible thing, and when we meet with donors, we ask them specifically to give to the 2008 debt relief. When we raise money this year, it goes towards the 2010 campaign. So if anyone wants to help with that, it's Christine2010.com.
Isn't this what's wrong with Washington, D.C., that we borrow money or we collect money and we don't pay off our old debts? And if I can't expect my Senate candidate to pay off 2008 debts.
Dan, are you kidding me? What happened? Is Castle paying you off? Dan, you endorsed me in 2006.
Right, and I have serious questions in 2010.
I was really disappointed when a lot of people came to me and said, I think Dan Gaffney's a sellout. I said, that can't be. He's an honerable man.
Yeah, they can call me whatever they want.
Say these things that are just baseless accusations. I'll continue to pray for you, Dan, because I know that you're an honorable man. You cast the vision in 2006.
I am an honorable man. I try to be an honorable man. Christine. Christine, stop talking over me, Christine. If we're going to have a dialogue, we're going to have a dialogue. My question is a serious question. I did endorse you in 2006. I have questions in 2010. I've had two of them that I've asked you, and you filibuster over without answering them.
I'm trying to answer you. If you won't interrupt,
do you think, so my question is this.
Okay.
Do you think it's sound fiscal policy to collect money for your campaign and leave debts on the table where people that worked for you need to be paid for services rendered and you have yet to pay them?
Dan, we are paying off our debt. What I am doing is raising money for 2008 debt relief. Tom Ross pledged to do fundraising, broke his word, and left it on the backs of our volunteers, which we gladly stepped up to the challenge. And we raised money the best we could. We are still raising money. What is responsible and what is transparent is that when I say to people, if you give money to the 2010 campaign, it's going to go to radio ads, it's going to go to mailings, it's going to go to TV. When we raise money for 2008, we specifically tell them, this is debt relief for 2008.
Right.
That is responsible. To twist it into anything else is simply absurd.
Well, I'm not twisting.
What I will say is,
Christine, let me be very clear. I haven't twisted anything. I've asked you to explain it.
Right. Well,
I haven't twisted anything.
Irresponsible is twisting. Now let me point out this. You look at Mike Castle's fundraising reports, and it's all the banks.
Right. Well, we'll get to Mike Castle in a minute. I have more questions about you, Christine.
All the people.
Christine,
can I please finish?
No.
All the people.
Christine, I have more questions about you. This is supposedly, they told me, an interview, not a filibuster against Mike Castle.
Service to your listeners, you would ask Mike Castle to account for why the people who are putting in.
I'll be happy to ask him those questions, and the questions I asked Mike Castle will be the questions I asked Mike Castle. I have questions for you, my dear. Okay.
Well, let me finish my point.
No, I have another question about you.
You're abandoning the taxpayers of Delaware.
I'm not abandoning anybody.
Mike Castle's campaign supporters make millions of dollars.
That's fine. The issue is about you, Christine. The issue.
County, whose utility bills are going to go up.
I potted her down. Christine, the issue right now is about you. And I'm asking about you. She's still blabbing.
Well, go ahead. What's your next question? You're talking over me.
Right.
But go ahead.
Right, because I'm asking about you. We'll get to Mike Castle in a minute. I have questions about you, and you wanted to say,
next question?
And you're saying I'm doing a disservice. I'm trying to do a service to my audience by asking questions that people have about you.
Absolutely. What's your next one? Because you know I only have a couple minutes this morning.
I didn't know that.
Okay, well, what's your next question?
My next question is, I personally have found the campaign emails from your campaign distasteful, and I'll tell you why. Because I believe that most of your approach is to attack your opponent rather than uplift your own achievement. Now, with that in mind, let me ask you about a printed comment in today's news journal. A video posted online yesterday by Christine O'Donnell's spokesman Yates Walker on the conservative site Liberty.com features a woman delivering a news-style report. Off camera on the video, someone says, quote, "Isn't Mike Castle cheating on his wife with a man?" The on-camera woman replies, "That's the rumor." Yates Walker worked for your campaign? What do you think of this type of behavior?
Yates doesn't work for my campaign anymore, and I'm glad you brought that up because I think that that's a very tacky approach. I never said that Mike Castle was gay. That is an insult to his wife Jane, and an insult to Mike Castle.
So you distance yourself from that sort of behavior?
High road. Absolutely. I never said that, and Yates doesn't work for us. I haven't spoken to him in over a month. He started a different venture, Liberty.com, and I do not endorse that kind of mudslinging.
That makes me feel good.
Absolutely not.
The second question I have is about
I wanted
on that same topic. Do you?
Can I please address the emails?
What is your comment? What is your comment on the YouTube video that was all the rage in Delaware politics yesterday, with the person attempting to block the cameraman from walking out the door?
Okay. Can I address what you said about the emails, that you don't like the direction of our emails?
Sure.
When we talk about these things, we're talking about Castle's positions on policies. So Mike Castle has every right to come on your radio show with me and defend his position.
I understand.
If he wants to vote for cap and trade, he
How
wants
about that
to vote
video?
for stimulus. He wants to vote for financial reform.
How about that video?
What we're doing is educating and outreaching the voters.
How about the video yesterday
just how
where
liberal Mike Castle is?
What about the video where some people have called it thug tactics? What's your comment on that?
Oh, it was absolutely thug tactics on Mike Castle's part. He had his trackers had every single entrance to that candidate forum locked. They had cameras there. They were intimidating and bullying my supporters.
How?
To the point where, walking around with cameras, blocking the entrances, and not letting us leave.
In the video, there was no one. In the video, in the video
of me walking out the door, thanking everyone. Evan put his hand up. As a matter of fact, when I said to John, "What's that in your hand? What are you videoing?" He said, "Oh, nothing." I said, "You might as well be honest about it." So he pulled it out. They had the thug tactics. They were hiding. And then to turn around and say that it was my campaign, I'll tell you, Dan, that shows you just how scared they are.
You know, there's almost the stereotypical attitude of, you know, to be a true woman, you have to stay at home. And I've actually had people say to me, you know, "Why do you choose a career over marriage?" And I say, you know, honestly, I've had only a few significant relationships, and they've broken up with me.